Nikki, I feel like we've been friends for a little bit, but like I don't really know that much about you, so that's why this is really fun. We get to just hang and chill and get to know one another. Nikki is like
absolutely.
We were just saying this, like you're a Sea of Thieves partner now, but like it hasn't been that long, and I've been wanting to like, because you'll pop into my stream or I'll pop into yours or whatever. I've been saying to D, I've been like, yo, we need to get like more people out here, but also like you've been needing to join us on the morning party boat, so that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. And it's a pleasure, because you guys, I watch you every morning, and I've known D for such a long time, so it's awesome. And I love the type of content that you guys bring as well. Not just that, but the coffee as well.
Yeah. That's what I bring. Everyone else brings content. I bring coffee. I'm chilling with that. I'll sit on the boat and T-pose and get everyone all lit. Guys, if you do use discount code Miss Azuki, you will also see a fancy alert on her stream. Just make sure you put your name in at checkout, so that way if you do, use her code, you get 20% off. You're going to see your name pop up. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Cheers your coffee if you guys got it. If you're listening to this after the fact, you can raise whatever glass, whatever cup of anything you got. If you're live with us, raise it if you got it. Guys, we're going to cheers this day and this weekend that we get to start together. Big, huge, massive. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Big.
Woo!
Like I said, I got the powder. So the powder's super caffeinated.
So good.
The powder is very, very caffeinated. Yeah. It like
is it stronger than the cans?
It's a little stronger. Yeah. It's just a little stronger.
Good to know.
All right. So we got Reapers up, right?
Yeah, we got Reapers, and then I've got a bunch of stuff. So I think we're good to go. Do you want to put on some cannons? Maybe whale cannons?
Yeah. Let's do the whole killer whale thing.
Yeah, let's go.
That's the those are like the shortest, I think, cannons in the game. So
yeah, no, they're really like easy to aim with. So
yeah.
Perfect.
I've also been doing this like Admiral one because it's a dude with a trident. It's like Poseidon or something. I've been doing that one lately because it's kind of dope. All right, we're gonna do a random mismatch of stuff over here.
All right.
so you only do PvP.
Well, no, I'll do PvE as well, but PvP is my main focus in the game because I come from like a shooter's background basically, and so I find fun in kind of like the whole like, hunting and going after people and getting hunted as well.
So you do the like you were way into what you were telling me yesterday. You were way into Counter-Strike.
Yeah. So back when I was about 16 years old or something of that sort, I was competing in Counter-Strike. Our team went as far as Cal I, and it was intense times. And then I competed in Halo 3.
Like did you travel? Did you go to any events?
I did a couple in Florida, and I got to meet Master Chief himself, the voice actor.
Really?
Yeah, and I was able to play with him for a little bit.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that guy
back when I was like 18.
That guy actually, so I have I just had my 30th birthday, and like all the people that like hang out with us in the morning, like that are in the chat and everything like that, they like pulled together all of like these awesome notes and stuff, like, and put on, I forget what the website was called. If Eagle's here, he can probably remind me. Like the web, there's like a website where you can like put a bunch of like thank you cards. Kudo board. It's a Kudo board. Like, yeah, like you can put a bunch of like nice notes and stuff on there, and like drawing like images, media or whatever. But they got a Cameo. Have you ever heard of this website called Cameo?
Yes.
Yeah, so they got one. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd, so they got Samwise. They got Sam Gamgee to come out and say some nice words, some happy birthday words. But then the other one was the Master Chief dude. I forget his name.
Steve Downs.
Yeah, Steve Downs. Yeah, they got Steve Downs to wish happy birthday. And like,
oh my God.
Like, and I was telling you, I was a big Halo guy, so like that was like a really cool thing. But you got to actually play with him.
Yeah. So I was 18 years old, and because I was competing, and there was a tournament in Miami Beach, and I think it was like 2008 or 2007. And he came out to this tournament, and I sat with him and played on legendary mode. I beat the game for him. And as he just sat in the car, because it's like the last part with the car.
Yeah.
He just sat in there, and I'm like, all right, I'll beat it for you. And he had never seen the ending.
What?
He had never seen himself as Master Chief ever. That was the first time, and he cried. He started crying.
Wait, you showed Master Chief the way that Halo ends?
Yeah.
Like you showed
Halo
Steve
3.
Downs the way that Halo 3 ends. Like that's a really cool ending too. That's like a really unique story. That's really dope. You said that was in Miami.
That was Miami Beach. Yeah, I think it was 2007, 2008, the year that it came out.
So for anyone that doesn't know, like Cal, like if you were competing in CS like way back in the day, like Cal was the like online way to like, it was like an online kind of like, I guess kind of like best example is like game battles, I guess. Like you compete against other teams and stuff, and you'd move up or down. And I feel like what was the it was Cal Open was like the main level, I think, right?
Yeah, Cal Open.
Cal Open, and then there was like Cal M, Cal P.
Yeah.
There was Cal P was the highest rank, I think.
Yes, and then Cal I was right below Cal P, I believe.
Yeah.
So you have to be invited into that event.
Yeah, Cyber Athlete Amateur League. Tom's telling me Open. It was O, then I, then M, then P, then I. Wait, then Invite. O, the Open, then Intermediate, then Main, then Premier, then Invite.
Okay, that's what it is. Then it wasn't.
Like honestly, like, and I'm bringing this up just because like if anyone didn't know that, like, what Nikki's saying she competed in like back with CS is just like that was like the most hardcore way to compete. Like is like save if you like traveled all over the place and actually like we're flying around and like going to some of the big events, which CS has always had a hard. I feel like I've never really been able to like fully gauge CS's calendar and like where all the events are and like the upcoming ones. The Cal was like the one where you could just you can have a team and you can compete. So like you were like really in to
and CPL too.
Oh yeah, CPL, but didn't CPL like I don't know, there was a couple of them. One of them like crashed hard. I feel like one like bankrupt.
I think it was CPL.
Was it CPL?
Yeah, I think so. It's been such a long time. I was like a 15-year-old,
What got you into like hardcore like competition like that? Because it's one thing to game, but like it's another thing to have a team and practice and scrim. Like that life is hardcore. And if you're competing in CS, like especially if you're trying to climb like the Cal ladder, like 15 years ago, right? I mean, this is like 50. Like I mean, we're talking maybe almost even 20 years ago, but this is a long time ago. This is like that was like the hardcore version of like grinding and having a team, practice every day and all that kind of stuff. Like what got you into that versus just like hanging out, gaming, chilling, that kind of stuff?
No, I have to admit I'm a very competitive person by nature, and I think that plays a huge role in everything. Because since I was a kid, I was always in sports teams, and I was usually the only girl on like soccer teams, So
like you would play on the boys teams?
Yeah.
Really? They didn't have like a girls team and like a guys team. You were just like you're just like I'm gonna play with the dudes.
Yeah. I was a pretty good defense, and I think it was just kind of. Oh wait, did that fort just?
Yeah, it just went down. So who knows? Who knows what this is? What it's gonna be?
But yeah, I'm basically like I've always been a very competitive person by nature, and I think because I grew up with video games because of my dad, he had a TurboGrafx and an Atari, Nintendo, all of it, and to me it was kind of like I don't know, it was really fun competing against people, especially when I was in the youth centers, and I would beat, I would beat the boys.
What are the
youth
youth
centers?
All the time.
Yep.
Hold on. What do you mean the youth centers?
Okay, so I don't know if there's any like everywhere else, but in Miami there's like youth centers where basically all the kids kind of go and they hang out after school and they go do activity sports.
Really?
And yeah, it's really, really fun. It's like entertaining, especially it's good for parents who work really late.
I was just gonna say, like, were your parents like but you had like a mom and a dad that were both working, and so that's how you ended up there?
Oh yeah. So, I had to fend for myself being that nerdy little girl that liked video games and anime and stuff. I mean,
nerdy little girl that likes video games, but also the quote unquote nerdy little girl that's out there with all the boys just like shouldering them out in soccer. What else did you play besides soccer?
I played volleyball too, so soccer and volleyball, and I ran track for a little while.
Did you have a lot of siblings, or do you have a lot of siblings?
I have one sister that I grew up with, and then I have two brothers, but they're in a different country.
Oh, they're not here?
No, they are in Dominican Republic.
Oh, they're in Dominican. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where your parents are from?
Yeah, originally my mom is from Dominican Republic, and she moved to New York before I was born, because most of her family had migrated over with a work visa. So
and
technically, I'm from New York.
Yeah. So were you born there, up in New York?
Yeah, I was born in New York, but I was raised in Miami.
I'm like so jealous. Like Like that is the one I got, guys. I was like geeking out with, because you know we connected last night just to make sure that like on the tech side everything was working, and I was just like Nikki told me like that's where she was from originally, and I'm just like, yo, that is to me Miami, because I'm I drink so much coffee. That is like the coffee culture that like every city should like aspire to be down in Miami. It's just like the most caffeinated coffee. You like little coladas, which is like,
oh my god,
super concentrated. It's like, I think the best way to put it is like it's like an 8-ounce cup. You get like an 8-ounce cup of like the most concentrated coffee, and it comes in this like styrofoam cup, and it's like espresso, but it's like even more so. It's like hellified espresso, and it's loaded up with sugar, and it's just black coffee and sugar. And then like when they give you this little 8-ounce cup of this 8-ounce styrofoam cup, they give you like little tiny little thimbles, little like, I don't know, like Nikki, what are they, like 1 ounce little thimbles essentially?
I know, they're tiny. They're like not even a shot. They're
they're smaller than a shot. It's like half shot, like little plastic little thimbles or whatever, or little paper little thimbles. And the whole intention is like you're supposed to like divvy them up and drink it with people, you know. But like, so I'll just get the colada and I'll just slam the whole thing. Like and it's like rocket fuel, man. It is like absolute. Like yeah, no, it is like rocket fuel. I mean, I swear it's like, I don't know. It's like some sort of crazy drug, and it's just coffee. But like that's that coffee culture down there is like incredible. So did your mom move to Miami for work?
So my mom actually didn't like New York. She thought that she's like, this is not where I'm raising my daughter. First of all, so
was she in the city, or was she on like Long Island or like upstate?
Oh, she was in Brooklyn.
She was in Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah, and she didn't like it, so she took me and my dad and down to Miami, and that was it. I lived there all my life. I grew up off Miami Beach,
Yeah, which is incredible. And like you told me like where you were in Miami, it's like paradise. Which you just moved, but like to me that's where I'm trying to end up, is Miami.
Right.
Is like that's where like it's sunshine, it's hot, it's coffee everywhere. I can't stress enough how much food. I can't stress enough how much Cuban coffee is everywhere. And like little Cuban the little baked, like the pastelitos, which you make.
Yes. With guava and queso.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It is like paradise. If anyone's like, yo, I'm jonesing to get a vacay after all this pandemic stuff's over, highly recommend just going to like immerse yourself in like the food culture in Miami, and then like take a boat out. Like there's dudes down there that will rent boats to people that are like, a couple $100, and they'll take you out for like a day, just like to a sandbar, and you can just kind of like hang out and party and that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh. And the drinks that you can have in the sandbar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever went to one of those that they actually, if you go out to a sandbar, there's a boat right next to it that serves food and drinks.
Oh, like kind of like a center, for the people that are taking their boats out, they can kind of like just get their drinks and stuff out there, so that way they don't have to take it out.
Yeah, it's like a boat basically, and you get on that boat and you buy everything you need. It's like a little convenience store on a boat.
So you're growing up in Miami. Parents are both working. So, and you said your sister here. Did you grow up with your sister?
I did, yeah. I grew up with her, and we're actually 8 years apart.
Oh, 8 years? That's what I got between me and my brother. So I kind of get that vibe. It's kind of like you grew up together, but you're not. Are you older or younger?
I'm older.
You're older?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm the younger one, but I mean, when you were 8 years apart, it's kind of like your siblings and stuff. But I feel like the whole time I knew, like, I'm going to be way closer with my brother, like, later in life, whenever I'm much, like, you know what I mean? Like, because when he was 16, I was 8. Like, what do I know about what 16-year-olds are doing? I'm 8, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
And on the flip side.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
Like, my sister and I, we never really connected. We were always kind of, like, bumping heads the whole time. And I don't know. And it wasn't until just the last few years that we started getting along better, in the sense of, like, we have more things in common, things to talk about. So basically when we grew up.
Yeah. Did you grow up like close with your parents too?
Yeah, my parents and I, we were pretty close. I mean, I miss my mom. I call her like every day.
Is she still in Miami?
Yeah, all of my family lives in Miami, but me.
Yeah, you'll end up back there. The sunshine, it's too good. It's too
right?
paradise. It's too paradise. I don't know. Some people it can be too hot for them in Miami though.
You know what? Miami's very humid, but I don't know why. I kind of prefer the humidity over dry heat that it is like in Texas sometimes. I'd rather have the sticky coolness than that burning sensation.
Than the dry heat? Yeah. Okay, so you're growing up, you're playing sports and stuff. But then like you pick up CS, and so then you start really grinding. Was CS like your game that you grinded for like how many years?
Maybe like 3 or 4 years. I have to check my count, but I did it for a couple of years, and then I picked it up again when the CS:GO came out. But I didn't compete in it. I just kind of just played in the leagues and ranked up or whatever.
And you said you're in the film industry right now?
Yeah. So I work on movies and commercials, shows. It depends. I get contracted basically, and I have different roles in it. Like, for example, I do script supervising, wardrobe and costumes, and it just depends on what they need from me. But I worked on a show that you might know. It's called Umbrella Academy.
What's that on?
Worked on Netflix.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah. And it's a very good show.
What'd you do for it?
So basically I facilitated all the extras, and I made sure that they were ready and on point for their shots. So I handled the background talent. In
really?
Other words. Yeah.
So like, what's the like? Have you always wanted to be like working in film and like directing and like that side of like, is this like a dream? Is this like childhood dream, and you're living it still?
Pretty much. I ultimately my goal is to direct and create. I did create a short film about like competitive women, in gaming. I did that a couple of years ago. I won a couple of awards.
Did you? That actually sounds really cool. What's it called?
Fight Like a Girl, and the website is fightlikeagirlshortfilm.com, and you can see it. It's like a 13-minute long short doc. Fightlikeagirlshorts.com? Fightlikeagirlshortfilm.com.
Oh, fightlikeagirlshortfilm.com. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up.
Yeah, so I do my own projects. I direct certain things on the side.
Oh, this website's really clean.
Thank you.
All right, y'all need to go check this out. fightlikeagirlshortfilm.com. How long is it?
It's about 13 minutes or so.
Oh, that's super. Like, that's really good. Like, I thought you were gonna say like 90 minutes or whatever. I was gonna like have to like find a night to like set time aside. I can watch that. That's dope. You can just watch that.
And it's because for festivals it's a lot better to have shorter films than something long, and that's why we got accepted to so many.
So where did you you said it won awards?
Yeah, so it won a couple of awards. Let me see if I can pull that up. It's on the site, but let me look 1 second.
Do you want to do this Ashen event, or do you want to just skip it?
We could do that, but it takes a little long with that sloop.
Yeah, it takes kind of long. Let's go to this. Let's go to this galley. We'll just kind of sink this Skelly galley. We'll start grabbing some loot.
Sounds good. So the awards that this documentary won was Best Documentary Short for Atlanta Con Short Film Festival 2018, Best Documentary Short for Super Geek Film Festival 2018, and then Best Documentary for Terminus Conference 2018.
Yo, that's legit. That's like a lot of that just won a lot of awards.
Yeah, it's for our first film. It was pretty decent.
That was your first one?
Yeah.
And you're like racking up all these awards like that? Yo, that's what's up, Nikki. Yo, that's so cool. What's like the next one you're working on?
Okay, so I actually have one it's about streamers and Twitch, and I have a couple of people in mind. I haven't really fully set out to do this yet, but it's gonna basically bring the world of Twitch to people who don't know what that is. So we basically are gonna explain it, and then kind of follow a streamer and their day in life and what got them there and how they set up every day for streaming and all that good stuff, And
then is the plan so for Fight Like a Girl, what is that like? Is it like when you go to distribute it? Is that is that on Netflix, or is that on any platforms where like people are like watching stuff normally, or is that kind of like the hustles like trying to get it there?
No, we kept it free on Vimeo for everybody to look at it. So if you just check out the website, oh my god, here we go. You could just check it out on the website, and it's just free to watch. we wanted to make sure everybody had availability to seeing it.
Do you have like so like for this next one, obviously that sounds like what's the name of the next one? It's all about like basically like showing the Twitch world to people. What do you have a name for it yet?
No, I have a couple of names in mind, but I have a whole like list of questions and things that we're gonna do for it, and it's just basically I'm gonna follow like 3 or 4 Twitch streamers, and we're gonna like go in their daily life and talk about the goods of streaming and all that.
Yeah. So, but the goal of that is to kind of like get as many eyeballs on it as possible, right?
Absolutely, of course.
So like if you were to go about like trying to publish that to Netflix, what or anywhere, like I don't even know if you want to, but like where, like do you like what's that like are you gonna like try to go that route, or is it just keep it like on the other on like YouTube and stuff?
No, I would actually want to pitch it to a couple of streaming services, and the way to go about that is through an agent, and it's a little more complicated than we want it to be, but I'm gonna give you right side. And I'm gonna start. Oh, I'm off the ship again.
Hold no worries. I'm gonna bail a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna go and bucket with you.
So it's a little more complicated.
Yeah, because you have to go through an agent in order to pitch those kind of ideas to like Netflix, to Amazon, and all those things. So
I wonder if Netflix is ever gonna go to like a model where like YouTube, where you can like self-publish and then they can go through and kind of check what's out there. I wonder, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that would be really valuable for both you and them to be able to have like this platform where you're uploading content and they could just kind of like review it. I feel like that would be like,
yeah, or you can like submit for a review and then they could accept it or not.
Yeah. That seems like it's probably like next gen, but I don't know anything about film. I don't know anything. So you got into this at a young age?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in film because I've always made my own stuff, and it wasn't until I got out of college that I got my first movie job, which was called Moonlight. That one won a Golden Globe and
wait, I feel like
Oscar.
I've heard of Moonlight.
Yeah, so that was the first film I ever worked on. And
what did you do? You said it was what? Hold on, what kind of what did you do? It was all behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. So basically, for that one, it was my first time on a set ever. So I was a PA, or basically a production assistant, and PAs normally just kind of help whatever department needs hands, or if it's office or however. And that's basically what I did. I did mostly paperwork for the film, and I was on set helping the producer. I was her assistant for that one.
So you're 18 years old. You're working on this movie Moonlight. I mean, it must have been. You said it won a Golden Globe.
Oh, I was 25 for this one because I didn't go to college till I was. Yeah, it took a couple of years for me to go to college.
So did you say you got into the film industry though at 18?
No, I was always interested in film since I was that young.
Since you were that young, okay.
So I would make my own kind of little shorts and stuff.
Got it. Okay. So at 25, you're like, okay, I need to start doing more than just my own stuff. I need to be reaching out and like what is that, like the networking side? Like you need to start actually like plugging into like the film industry proper at that point.
Yeah, and that was the goal, is to basically get into the actual film industry, not just like my own little YouTube videos or any of that sort. Did
like as you're like applying for jobs and stuff, did people that you were
this is getting into the film industry is a lot more complicated. So the first thing they tell you in film school when you first join is that you're not gonna get a job immediately after getting your degree. So the first day of class, the teacher says, just know you half of you or more of you won't have a job in the film industry, even though you're taking classes for it. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Do you think they do that to like scare people away or something like that? Like to be like,
it's the reality, unfortunately, because you have to have referrals in order to start getting in the film industry. People need to know you need to know somebody, and then it starts to kind of snowball from there. And especially if you do a great job, it just gets better. Where did you
do your like film school?
So in Miami, there's Miami-Dade College. They have a film program that's actually a pretty decent one. And I studied there, even though I already knew how to edit. I need to do like all the things that they taught me anyway.
Yeah.
But so I went there for about 2 years, and then I decided not to go for my bachelor's because I didn't need it when I was already working in the industry at that time.
And so is Miami like what's it like down in Miami? Is there like a big market for that kind of for young talent like that? Like if you're gonna graduate, you know, try to get in the film industry, Miami's a good place to be.
Yeah, Miami, Atlanta, especially, New York, Dallas, Austin, and California.
Yo,
Here, I'm gonna help you bucket real quick.
This thing is beating us up.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough materials at this point.
No, I'm gonna go get the storage crate off that boat, and I'm also gonna try to see if I can protect any holes as we make them.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep bucketing for now.
Yeah, so the goal is just to let's just get a bunch of loot and see if anybody comes and fights us, because that'll be way dope. Oh, these guys are almost sunk. Very close. Nice. Very close. Okay. They just need like one more hole. The second you get a shot, I'll try to protect it.
All right, I'm trying to repair real quick. We have so many holes.
Here, I'm coming back.
The Scaly is relentless.
Okay, so Miami, good place to be for like trying to get in the film industry?
Yes. It's a little niche in Miami though. Like you have to know where to go, who to talk to, but once you get in, you'll always have work. So
it sounds like you're trying to be in like, you like doing like documentaries and stuff.
Yes. I mean, I mostly do commercials, so I don't mind that as well. But documentaries is where I've ended up so far with my career.
Yeah. All right, this thing, just a couple more holes and we're good.
All right.
In fact, I think you might have just sunk it with that shot. Maybe not.
Okay. Trying to get these patched.
Oh, yeah. There's that one. Literally one cannonball left. And that's it. Yeah. It's done.
It's done? Okay.
Yeah, it's done.
I have never taken a beating like this before.
I mean, I never fight ghost skellies. So, you know, I just fight them if I need to if we're chasing somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I mean, like listen, you're doing like you're super into sports, super competitive.
Yeah.
At some point though, you start diving in the film industry. So like from 18 to 25, you start making your own stuff. Why not at 18? Did you why not like immediately start doing like I don't know, maybe not doing film school right away, but like you sound like you were working on your own projects. Like why for 7 years like you did like all your own stuff?
Yeah. So for those years that I didn't go into school, I went to school when I was 24. That's when I started college.
Okay.
So this was a little tricky because my parents didn't know how to enroll me, and then plus I was kind of a wild card for a little while. I kind of started working, and I wanted to live on my own and kind of just do my own things.
Yeah. So wild card in the sense that you just needed a little bit of freedom.
Yeah. I was a bit of a rebel. I can't lie. You know, I'm a strong person. So I kind of just fled my parents, and I went and did my own things, and and that led to me working and, you know, the struggles of life and figuring out that maybe I should go to school one day. And once I turned 24, I enrolled on basically the day of my birthday, and I started school a few months later.
So rebel in a sense that like, what was it, like a party phase? Like you're out there just like you're finally 18, you're out, and now here you are in Miami, and you just get to like live on your own pretty much.
Yeah, because I'm Miami Beach. I lived at bars all my life.
I mean, if you're gonna live at bars, I mean, Miami, like you got the beach right there. I mean, I don't know how anybody doesn't spend, 18 to 25 like that in Miami.
Yeah, I literally lived, I used to longboard a lot. And so I would go to bars. I longboard to a bar. I longboarded, back to my apartment and on the, beach side, because I was lucky enough to live right across the beach. So that was like my daily gig. Just go to the bar, longboard back home.
What were you doing for work at that time?
So at that time, I helped manage. I was an assistant manager to a restaurant on Miami Beach called Lime. It was a little Mexican place back in the day. It's still there. It's remodeled and all.
What part of Miami Beach?
So it's on Alton Road.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know where? Okay. So there's Ocean Drive, but then there's My gosh, it's been it's been like 3 years and I'm already forgetting names. Lincoln Road.
Lincoln, exactly. Yo,
yeah,
Lincoln,
yeah.
Lincoln's awesome. There's so many like good restaurants and stuff there.
Oh yeah. So if you went up Lincoln all the way to Alton Road, there's a movie theater on the left side. If you walked like 2 blocks down from there, that's where I used to work.
So you're managing. You said you're assistant manager at the restaurant.
Yeah, I managed for like 2 years and that's it. And then I moved along to a different career at that point because I didn't, after a while, it kind of felt that it was not my thing. I'm like, I'm here for years. I'm serving food. I'm dealing with all these things, cooking, whatever. And one day it just dawned on me. I'm like, why am I learning how to read a menu in like food menu in a different language when I could just go to school and learn something that I really like? And that's when I quit and I started basically school within that same year.
So how much of that time, how much of that phase were you like able to, because it sounds, I mean, restaurant industry is like no joke. Like when you're working, especially if you're managing, like you can be upwards of like 70 hours a week. Like and it even then it's like hard to not have your mind there because it's like you're dealing with so many part-timers and that kind of stuff. So like how much of that time are you actually able to dedicate to film in that part of your life? Or was that kind of like the reason why you took the step in the direction to actually go to like get some proper schooling on it because you just needed to like immerse yourself otherwise?
So I didn't really do much of my film stuff because I was in that party phase, but I did create little music videos for fun and I would do this and that. It was, it was still a hobby for me at that time before I made it into my actual career. But I always knew that is something I wanted to do. Was
film.
Yeah.
And
content creation in general.
That's why you're here. That's how you got here. Doing is streaming is it fulfilling in the sense that you have this creative like nerve and you're trying to tap it with like creating film, but then now because you've been streaming for you said a couple years now, right?
Yeah. A couple of years. Had to take Pena and I, we were saving up for a house, so it took us about a year or so, and we were waiting to have a stream room. That was like our ultimate goal, is to have a stream room. So we worked really hard for it. But I came back to streaming again 6 months ago after we kind of set up the room. Right.
Mm. And obviously you dive into Sea of Thieves, which this community is awesome. There's so many friends everywhere. But like, is this starting to like tap into that creative nerve, or are you still trying to? Obviously, you have your documentary that you're working on, but is this from that same vein, or is this a new thing that you had no idea that you were into?
No, it's kind of in the same, because I get to create content, even if it's me in front of the camera. I get to do something fun, and honestly, this gives me the time and the ability to also focus on my other projects, like directing, for example. If I'm working, because the truth is, when you work in the film industry, your days are long days. They're 12+ hour days every time you work. So let's say you have a job for 2 weeks. Every day for those 2 weeks, you're working over 12 hours. So for me, this gives me more time to work on my own creative projects rather than work on other people's creative projects.
So you grow up, you're competing in gaming, and then you move out of your parents' house, and now you're living this life down in Miami, and then you're like, oh hey, I need to get into film and like more proper, and you start devoting your life to that. But then boom, now you're back in like a gaming environment, gaming world. Were you gaming the whole time too, like, or did you put it away?
No, I never put it away. I would game, I just wouldn't stream. And if I did do any little streams, it would be just for my friends to watch at the time, because I've always been a gamer, and that's never gonna leave my blood.
So how long did you compete in CS4, and did you what were like some of the big like tournaments you did, or do you have like one team that you remember being like the best team that you had?
It's been a long time. It's been like 16 years at this point, but I can't.
CS was dope. CS was it was so hardcore. But you also
I do have screenshots somewhere. I have a bunch of old screenshots with like scores and against teams. It got to the point that people would 1v4 me, 1v5 me in CS:GO, and they couldn't get me. But that's all. It's been so long, honestly, that I can't remember off the bat every single tournament or anything major. But I never actually did, I never went to a physical place to compete. It was always online.
Always online, yeah. That was like the nature of
Halo.
except for Halo. Yeah, that Steve Downs story is sick. Halo was also like, that one had a little bit more structure to it. You could like travel everywhere. All over the country. It was like a calendar and that kind of stuff. Did you like follow any of the MLG stuff they did for Halo?
I followed a couple of people that I knew, but I didn't really stick to it. I just it was one of those things that, I picked up the game. Let me just go into a couple of little tournaments in Florida, and it worked out for me. But I never went international or anything. National with it.
Is this how you met Pina?
Oh my gosh.
He'll pop into my chat sometimes, and I've seen him on Twitter. It's Pina, right?
Pena, yeah.
Pena, okay. I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. You guys met through gaming?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I believe it was like 4 years ago. Something of that sort. We got matched up in a lobby for Dead by Daylight, and we were both streaming at the time. So he came into my stream and he's like, hey, he asked me first, like, are you streaming? I'm like, yeah. And he came in and started talking, and we followed each other, and it kind of like just like fell together. And he lives in Texas. I'm from Miami. So we had like a long distance relationship where we would see each other for TwitchCon, BlizzCon. We would like plan little things together. And it I don't know, like everything just fell into place after we met that day in the lobby.
Yeah. No, and that's obviously you're in Texas now. The move to Texas? Did you like see like a big big change in your I don't know, your passion to make film and all that kind of stuff? Did you like see big opportunity there, or is that was that just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna move there and I'm gonna figure it out?
Originally Pena was actually gonna move to Florida.
You should have convinced him to move there.
Yeah, well, but
Pena,
I actually
Pena, you gotta check out Miami, brother.
He knows. I took him around. We always joke that we'll get a beach house one day. Yeah. But yeah, so I fell in love with Texas, honestly, and the film industry in Texas was really welcoming to me, and I kind of, I asked permission, but I'm like, can I come? And I moved to Texas, and we started. Our dream was always to stream, though. Besides the film stuff that I do, it was always to stream. And so once I moved, we started saving up for a house immediately after.
Yeah. And then you described like you got the stream room set up and everything, and you were able to dive into it.
Yeah, he's pretty much helped me like set up this whole thing. Like if you've seen the evolution of my streaming from like when I was streaming in Florida when I first met him to like what it is now, it is like an evolved Pokemon from like Charmander to Charizard.
Yo, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, like he's I have to say he's my partner in crime. Like he literally has done a lot. As a team. We've done a lot as a team.
Right. All right. Super controversial question because I gotta ask because it's in your picture. Pineapple on pizza. Yeah. Big ups.
Yeah,
Big ups to pineapple on pizza. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good.
We have to have pineapple on pizza because that's you gotta get the salty and sweet.
Yeah. See, I don't eat meat, and so like I have to find like creative stuff, like creative ways to make other. Whereas like you could get like a meat lover's pizza and just put a bunch of like meat on it. You gotta like be creative and find different stuff. I found pineapple pizza. It's the best ever.
Yes, with some jalapenos too.
Yes, pineapps and jalaps. I say this all the time. Pineapps and jalaps. It is the way. I promise everybody, it's the absolute best tasting pizza that you can find.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, so you start streaming a couple years ago, but then you're like, okay, I'm gonna put it on the back burner for a bit.
Yeah.
And then you go live first time this second go around. What do you remember the day that you went live?
I know it was about 6 months ago. Not the actual date, but
sometime like April.
Yeah, I think so. It's when the pandemic started, pretty much around that time.
Okay, and you told me a story last night about how D was like Like D played a part of that. Like she helped you.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I called her one day because I have this documentary idea, which I mentioned earlier, about the Twitch streamers. And I was talking to her and we had like a good conversation for like about an hour or so. And within that conversation, she kind of like mentioned that I should try Sea of Thieves. She's like, you have a Game Pass. You definitely have the game. And kind of like inspired me to try the game. And then Pena, on the other hand, was like, you should go and stream again. You should start streaming. And so between the both of them, they kind of just like merged, and then bam, I'm here now.
How did you and D become friends at first?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I went to PAX East. I think it was 2017 or something like that.
It's always so cold there in Boston.
Oh my God.
It's like brutal.
Yes. It snowed. It had one of the worst like snowstorms.
Oh, that's the one where no one could get out on the Monday after because all the flights were being delayed or canceled or whatever because of the blizzard or whatever. That one was brutally cold. That was the most brutal cold. Like, because you know, it's always in Boston. And funnily enough, I always say like it's called PAX East. Miami's on the East Coast. How come? And it happens in like February, March. How come they don't do this in like down south, like on a beach somewhere? Why do we got to do this in Boston where it's brutally cold?
I agree. I know. That's the event. And so I went with a couple of friends, and I ended up splitting off from them, and I stuck around the Dead by Daylight booth because that was the game that I was streaming at the time. And in that booth, I got to know a lot of people and a lot of devs, and the devs pulled me up from the line to play against BB, kind of like a little, look, here's a showcase of the game, so all the people can watch. It was like on like little TV, like a TV thing. And so I played against BB and a bunch of other people, and after the match was over, I went up to her and I'm like, I introduced myself, and like, oh my God, it was like instant connection between her and I. And there's like a video on YouTube where you see the CEO talking, and you see D and I in the background just like meeting for the first time and just chatting. So she added me on Steam right then and there, and after that weekend was over, we came back to streaming, and I got matched up in a lobby with her, and Pena was there too. And then it kind of like made a full circle. Like, wait, we all know each other.
That's dope. What got you to PAX East in the first place?
My friends, because my friends are like the group that I was hanging out with. They're competitive like esports players, and they're also Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, for HOTS.
So,
HOTS is good. Like for all the MOBAs, I think I like HOTS the best because it's like the easiest to pick up for a beginner.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's such a great game. But at the time, the group that I was with, they were all like from esports teams like Cloud9 and all of that, and because I also managed the team at that time. And
you managed the team?
Yes.
Which what was it called?
Sweet Synergy Esports.
Is it still a thing? Is it still?
No.
Okay.
I disbanded it years ago. It's really hard to manage a team and get everybody on the same page. So I kind of just sat back and I was like, let me be the player again rather than the manager.
Yeah. So what got you into? Hold on, you're managing an esports team.
Yes.
And like, so you have some friends or whatever that, and everyone's kind of like, hey, let's go to PAX 17. Let's have a good time. Let's go hang out.
Yeah.
Like the whole gaming world's there, so why not? Let's go there. But like, what gets you like at this point you're in school, right? Like you're in college for like you're studying film, and at the same time you're like, I want to start an esports team.
I think at that point I was already working in the film industry, and I had left college because I only did college for about 2.5 years.
Oh, 2.5 years. Okay.
Yeah. So I was already working in the film industry when I started the esports team.
So yeah, you're working.
Yeah.
And so like, what gets you start? Like, you're like, I need to start. What did you say the name of it was?
Sweet Synergy Esports.
Sweet Synergy. Okay. So hold on.
Yeah.
So like, what you just wake up one day and you're like, yo, I need to, like, I'm super competitive. I love gaming. I'm starting a team.
Okay. So what happened was I went to BlizzCon that year.
Okay.
And I was watching the HOTS tournament, and I was just chilling, and I'm like, and the one thing I noticed is that there was no females on stage competing, not one female. And I was like, wait, we have to change this. So when I got home that weekend, I casually asked in the BlizzCon group, and I asked, any female competitive, gamers want to start a team? because I was trying to inspire more women to get out of their bubble and go and compete rather than just play, you know? And so it got so popular, like 300 like women commented like, yes, let's do it. And so I started it, and I had a bunch of different teams within that one team, like little sections of it.
Like for different titles?
Yeah. Like we had an Overwatch team. We had 2 HOTS teams. Any Blizzard related games. We even had girls that we would sponsor that played Hearthstone competitively. And we had some pretty decent players on there.
Did you have to, like, at what point were you like, so you're managing the team. At what point were you like, I have to start paying players? Like, I have to start, if I want to like grow this, I have to start, or was it always just kind of like a grassroots type of thing where you had a bunch of people that were just down for the cause?
Well, it started like that with Down for the Cause. We were trying to get sponsors at the time and all that, but unfortunately, like I don't want to get like too into with that because I feel bad, but a lot of the reason why it fell apart is because I had brought on some things, people that just butted heads a lot, and it kind of just started falling apart because of that.
Okay.
And so
meaning players, like teams, like kind of like some internal stuff
that was happening that I was trying to stop from happening, and because too many Indians in the tiki kind of thing, I just laid it down. I'm like, all right, this is not gonna happen if it's gonna have this kind of attitude, and I walked away from it.
Do you think it was like an age thing? Was it a bunch of like a lot of people that might have been younger, or was it?
There were egos. There were egos for sure. There's a lot of people that were taking things a little too personal than they should have. But there's nothing you can do. Sometimes people don't get along, even when they're playing on the same team. I don't know. There's a lot of drama behind it. A lot of it.
Oh, that's the case with like any like organization, you know? Like there's always going to be personalities that don't mesh. So, but starting an esports organization and then, you know, did you guys do any any like big competitions, or how long was it a thing that was like a priority for you?
So we did compete a lot. We won a lot of matches. People, they knew, like if you played HOTS, you knew who the team was. Like that team.
That was the big one. It was HOTS.
Yeah. And so we never got to compete at BlizzCon because it was always kind of like the same teams competing. It's Cloud9 or right?
Right.
But we did all the tournaments that were available to us before Blizzard got in and started doing like sponsored ones. And so you like, you have this really awesome, like you got this like really awesome like passion, and you find a lot of people that kind of have like the same energy, and then you start this thing, and you're having some fun because like HOTS was that the game you were playing? Yeah, I switched. I was playing HOTS first when I first started streaming, and then I switched over to Dead by Daylight eventually. Mm-hmm.
But like you're having fun, and like all of a sudden, like you get all these teams and people are competing, and it's like great, and then you're like, oh, whoa, I didn't sign up, to deal with all this, and it started becoming less fun. So and the second it starts, like how much of your like daily life was occupied by? I mean, because like any business you start or any organization you start, it takes a lot of energy. So like, how much of your life was dedicated to that for a while?
It was literally all day. I had to schedule scrims. I had to like make sure every person was ready. I had to talk to the because we had trainers, people that would sit down and basically train them, tell them what they did bad, like wrong in the match, like evaluate them.
This is like you're describing like a robust like this is a pretty good size org that you're just like, there's a lot of players involved here. There's a lot of like roles that you filled.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there was a lot of moving pieces to this organization, and like I said, it was a lot of work. I felt like I was sitting there all day trying to make these things happen or make sure everybody's okay, and then that we're learning, that we're moving forward. And sometimes it didn't feel rewarding. I know it sounds crazy, but it didn't, like I never really felt, I don't know, like we were getting where we wanted to.
And then on top of that, you start adding some drama. You're like, whoa, I didn't sign up for this. You're like, this is not this isn't what I envisioned. I'm just trying to have a good time and compete. And all of a sudden now you're dealing with drama, so you wind it down. Like what? how long did it take to wind it down? Did you even think about like passing it off to anybody?
No way. That was my baby, and I worked really hard on it, and I wasn't gonna just pass it on. Unfortunately, not that I'm selfish. It's just that I didn't have anybody else that could fill my shoes at the time to begin with.
Because you were the one putting all the time in.
Oh my God, yes, yep. And there's a lot of people taking credit for things they didn't really do. So that's another thing that weighed it down. It's just extra hands that didn't need to be there.
I mean, honestly though, you talk about like the size of that, and you talk about scrims, and you talk about people that are like going over film and that kind of stuff, and like that's a good size deal. So I can like that took up a good chunk of your life for a little while. How are you balancing that? And like, so you were talking about like being in the film industry requires like 12-hour days. Like if you're doing it, you're grinding. Were you able to balance both, or did you have to put one on the back burner? Did you have to like actively say, okay, I'm gonna put film industry aside for a second to grow this?
Well, in that case, when I was working in Miami, because it was still kind of a fresh year for me in the film industry, because I had started in 2016 with a movie. I wasn't getting as many jobs at the time, so I was still kind of like 3 or 4 or 5 jobs a month, which was enough to pay bills because of the way that they pay you. But I had a lot of time to work on the organization, so it wasn't that bad. But there were times that it did fall through because either I forgot about X, Y, and Z, or because I was managing so many different women at once. It was rough. And I did appreciate the hands that were lent my way, but there was just like I said, so many moving parts, making sure that every team is scrimming and that everybody's not feeling discouraged at the end of the day if they didn't win. Right.
Is that still something like in the back of your mind? Are you still like, hey, I'm going to get back around to this. I'm going to like, I'm going to give esports orgs another try later on?
Honestly, I can't see myself doing it maybe one like 10 years from now. I don't know. I just can't see myself doing it again, especially because I'm so focused on content creation rather than like managing teams. Right. I'd rather be the person kind of like, I don't know, there.
Well, it's not a creative. It's not. It's creating that like starting an organization and then building it. That's not a creative thing. That's like a full on like entrepreneurial like business hustle. That's just like straight up grind where it's like it's just like all the hours all the time, and you got to like get so many people to buy in. So you got to have like a real passion for it. And but listen, you've been competing in stuff forever, so it's not like that's too foreign. The vibe I get is like if you were crazy enough to do it once, you're crazy enough to like learn from your mistakes and try again.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like if I started an esports org again, it would be completely different from what it was last time. I would already know where to start and where to go and how to handle things sure. But
so like between that and between like the film world, like I'm surprised like you never were just like, hey, I'm gonna up and move to like LA, where like basically it's the center for both.
I thought about it back in the day, but believe it or not, Texas is starting to grow with the gaming industry here. We have an arena, like an esports arena in Arlington.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, which is still pretty new.
I kind of forgot about it because COVID, I feel like it was getting a lot of PR. I feel like they were doing a lot of press releases for it. I feel like it was being talked about. And then when COVID hit, I completely forgot that arena was built. Yeah.
And it's a really nice arena. Like if you ever go to it, and they host a lot of tournaments there.
You've been there?
Yeah, I have been. I've been able to drive by it and stop by and all that, but I haven't actually like spent a day watching a tournament.
Guys, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. Nikki and I are sailing. Basically, this is our first time actually getting to sail together, which is dope. Like I said, we've like known each other kind of like being in each other's chats and everything, but actually getting a chance to sail together is really cool. And that's the design of what what we're doing with this podcast. Just basically getting to know everyone that plays this game, plays Sea of Thieves, has fun getting to know one another. Guys, Party Boats and Thieves, again, podcast experience brought to you and fueled by Madrinas. It's what we're drinking right now. If you guys want to use discount code Miss Azuki at checkout on madrinascoffee.com, you guys will get a little alert to pop up on Nikki's stream. Just make sure you put your name in. at the checkout. It's going to be right around the time, like right where it says like, you know, put in discount code or whatever. You're going to see, make sure you use discount code Miss Azuki. That brings the 20% off, but then put in your Twitch name as well. So that way it pops up on the stream. I'm drinking the powder. Nikki's drinking the can. So at some point you're like over the past, like, I don't know, like decade or something like that, are your parents telling you like, hey, you know, this like esports world or whatever, like, I don't know if it's for you, or I don't know what, you know, what it's all about, or are they super supportive of it?
So at first my parents hated the fact that I played games so often. And when I had first started streaming, I lived with them. This is a long time ago. And my mom would come into the room midstream and just yell at me like, hey, shut up, you know?
Midstream?
So, yeah, midstream. She'd come into the room and just yell at me to stop talking so much.
Yo, that's like, but like midstream, you started, because you did that just a few years ago, right? Are you like, this is not that long ago you're describing?
No, so I started my account, I think, in 2013, and I did one stream, and that one stream, my mom came in yelling at me. So I said, I'll never stream again here. So years went by.
That's funny. Yeah, that's super funny. I can't imagine trying to stream around a parent that isn't supportive or doesn't understand it. You know, like back then even, because even now, like 2020, like, yeah, gaming's still gaming, but like, I don't know. I feel like gaming has way more of like an acceptance in society than it did like 10 years ago or something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you were gaming then, and your mom's like, "Yo, you need to knock this off."
Oh my God, she would remove my internet every month.
What?
Yeah, that's why I ended up moving out, right? So that's those years that I was telling that you were asking about in between. Those are the years I had to move out because like I had to go live my life basically. Right. And yeah.
so that's just like so at this point I mean I'm assuming your parents know that like this is like a, you know, a big part of your life, and like you dedicate a lot of time to it. Or maybe they don't. Have you told them that like this is like a big thing that you do now?
Oh my gosh, my parents actually hang out on my streams now.
Do they?
And like this morning, my dad, his username is Azuki's dad. I can't even believe it. Yo,
that's lit. Yo, you gotta get them to stream. You should have been like, yo, back in 2013, instead of yelling at me, you should have sat down. We could have gamed something.
Absolutely, yeah. So now they actually ended up apologizing to me eventually, and they said to me that they didn't understand what I was trying to do back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, so they, you know, they're good about it now. Also, I think I saw a ship to the left.
Yeah, is it about a player guy?
I'm not too sure.
I see one here at the outpost. I think it's just a spawn in though. We can leave these guys alone. We'll go to the one on the left. So your parents are like probably more like traditional, more conventional parents?
Yeah, they're, you know, hard workers. They've been working all their lives, and to see their daughter just sitting at a computer doing absolutely nothing was very frustrating for them, you know?
Well, yeah, because probably, you know, they don't understand, like, if you're streaming or you're making content, that's work in and of itself. You know, it's creative. Yeah. It's creative, and it's a passion that you can put a lot of time into, and something you can grow. But I mean, you know, I had parents that were the same way. You know, like you grow up and it's like they don't understand. You know what I mean? Work ethic was like a really strong thing. Like I kind of always think about that, like with super like traditional or conventional parents. They were kind of raised, you know, where work ethic is like that's like the end all be all. That's how like you're judged as a person.
Yes,
that's like
absolutely
what your work ethic is describes your value to the world, right? So I mean, and in a lot of ways that's not wrong, and I'm glad I had that upbringing because it just kind of instills that theme. But it's kind of like a weird dichotomy where, you know, you want to like work hard in this sort of new age media where it doesn't make a lot of sense to some people. Mm-hmm. So did you feel like at some point were you like afraid to tell your mom or your parents that you were getting back into streaming?
Oh no! I definitely let them know. I'm pretty much an open book, so I let them know. And it's funny because now my mom is always giving me ideas for streams, like, oh, you should do this instead, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they probably understood the film industry way more than they understood like being live and gaming for people.
Yes, yeah. Because she thought I was just sitting there. She's like, why are you talking so much? It makes no sense, you know? Because you're in front of a camera and you're you're basically talking to just a screen
to
them.
What is so in all your time being live, and maybe not even being live, because you've been working and you've been doing some things. What is the most embarrassing moment that you can think of while you were streaming, or it could just be like do it at work on set or something like that? What's the most embarrassing moment you can think of?
Oh my gosh, to be honest, I've had some moments where I've fallen on stream or something like that, but I still think till this day my mom walking in and yelling at me mid-stream is still the most embarrassing thing.
All the way back then.
Yeah, because like, could you imagine, like, you see the door swings open and she's like, in Spanish, she's like, shut up, what are you doing?
So did they have clips back then? Were you able to clip that? Is that something?
I think I have a video hidden. Yeah.
Do you have that still?
I might. I have to go through my files, but I feel like I have it hidden somewhere.
Yo, I feel like we need to see that. Have you shown that to anybody since?
No.
Yeah, we need to see that. That is like that's amazing. If it's somewhere like in a folder, like deep hidden on a hard drive, like we gotta unearth that. That's incredible.
I think there is one in a hard drive somewhere. I'll look. And it happened to my sister too when she tried streaming.
Oh, your sister tried also?
Yeah, I have a clip of it too.
So you go live again now. You said you got like your house and you got all situated with your sort of new world in Texas, and you get your stream set up and going. Like, do you like the first day you go live? Do you remember like what that was like? Did you have people that came and hung out that day, and you played Sea of Thieves, right?
So yeah, okay. So my first day back, I was really, really shocked at how many people missed me and how many people came in to say hi from the past, basically.
Really? That's really cool.
Yes. Yeah, so a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, you're back. And some people were like, I thought you quit or something. And I don't know, it was really, I don't know, it's just like touched my heart to see old friends and to hear all that positivity coming from them, and it only just fueled me like the coffee does.
yeah
To continue streaming, and pushing and pursuing this as something more full-time for myself.
So you said from day one, I'm going to dedicate a big chunk of my life for a while to streaming and see how this goes.
Yeah
that it wasn't like a hobby thing that you're like all of a sudden like, oh, I'm starting to really dig this. From day one that you were dead set on being like, I'm devoting a lot of energy to this.
Yes, yeah. It's always been something I've wanted to do, and it just kind of fell together. And having a supportive partner like Pena, it has helped a lot because he's always pushed me. He's like, hey, you're working yourself to death with all those 12-hour shifts. How about you go back to something you actually really enjoy and see where that goes? And it helped a lot. It helped a lot to have someone like him pushed me back into it.
Did you say that you guys met at you met Pena also at PAX East that year?
No, actually he was supposed to go that year apparently, but he didn't go.
Okay.
But we met through that lobby that day prior to me meeting BB.
Oh, what you talked about before, that's when you guys actually met.
Yes.
That's really
playing
cool.
Playing a video game. Yeah.
That's actually really cool that it all happened like with D there as well. Like that you said it all came full circle. That's actually a really cool that moment. And then obviously you guys go on and you're with each other still. Is he in the gaming? Is he in the gaming world?
Oh, absolutely. Him and I, he used to stream as well, and we used to play, like, we play a lot of games together. Lately, he hasn't been able to because he's grinding so we can, make our dreams come true.
Of course.
But him and I, we can sit down and play games all day together.
So, and it's been Sea of Thieves for a while now. But like when you're playing, is this one active? Oh no, it's not.
No, I'm just gonna grab some supplies real quick.
I just didn't. I needed to know if we were about to start DPS and skellies and stuff.
No, you're good. I might go to that chest that's glowing over there to pick up as well.
What chest?
The one on that's northeast, just to level up a little bit more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because we're only level 2 here.
Yeah, no, it's all good though.
Literally not like a sniff of a player ship besides the one that spawn in.
Yeah, we don't want to scare them away too quick.
So, do you still play a game like because you play Counter-Strike? It's like super hardcore and competitive, but you play Sea of Thieves, right? You're doing the PvP stuff, but do you still like have that itch to grind let's say like Valorant or Overwatch or CS even like something like way more competitive?
Okay, so when Valorant came out, I was obsessed with it, and I'm like, okay, we gotta play this. But then, to be honest, I haven't put any focus into it, so I let that go. But I do always have to do a competition. I don't know why. I'm just like that competitive that I feel the need to.
Right.
And I still compete in Dance Dance Revolution. I don't know if you heard of DDR.
Yo, DDR. Yeah. What? Oh my gosh.
I can send you a video so you can see too. But
yeah, I mean, I've seen those YouTube videos where people just lose their mind and they're like incredible. And like I've tried DDR. It's horrendous. But like the people that are good at that are crazy. Were you competing in DDR for a while?
I still am.
You still are?
Yeah. That's where my focus has gone.
Is DDR, like, do you stream DDR?
I don't stream it yet. It is Pena and I have been talking about it. We're gonna try to do dance streams in maybe like the next 4 or 5 months. But
yo, dance streams will be lit.
Yeah, that's gonna be something we're gonna add in, but not right now. But it's gonna happen for
sure.
Hold
on, so you're currently competing in Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, are there tournaments locally in Texas, or is it all online based?
There's two types. There's the Texas tournaments or tournaments that you travel to, and then there's the online tournaments that I also do. Online tournaments, all you have to do is submit scores, which is just easier because you can grind out the songs. But there's a big tournament called The Big Deal in Texas. It's held in Grapevine, and it's huge. I mean, it's like hundreds of people go to this dance game tournament.
What?
Yeah. The Big Deal Gaming. Let's see if you could find it eventually.
That
but it is
so much
awesome.
Like, you can take absolutely none of your skills in CS and convert them to DDR. None.
Nope, that's where the soccer plays in.
Yeah, that's where, like, good thing you played sports. Good thing you're athletic. That's amazing. To be honest, I didn't even know DDR was like still like, I thought that was like kind of like how, like, you know, Guitar Hero and Rock Band, like that stuff was cool for like popular for a while, like super hype for a while, and then like I don't know, I feel like I haven't really heard of Guitar Hero in a minute. Same with DDR. I didn't realize people were still like competing it and doing stuff.
Yeah, so DDR died for a few years. Admittedly, Konami didn't release any new machines for a long time until just like 3 years ago or so. They released DDR Ace 3 or 4 years ago, and that had online capabilities, and so everybody started playing that. And then the KAC started happening, which is the Konami Arcade Championships every year in Japan. And their interest started peaking once they started doing like scoring, where you can have 2 different players from each country compete in Japan to win the championship for like X amount of money.
That's a really like that's a lot. It's like some major infrastructure for that game. That's
yes.
I don't know. That's a big deal. Like, that's the type of like support that, you know, not every esport title gets. That's really cool.
Yeah. Konami at least does those championships, but there's a lot of local, like, American based tournaments.
How close are you to being in those championships?
Okay, so let me, I guess, explain how the DDR scoring works.
Okay.
So DDR has different levels for songs, right? Level 1 being the absolute easiest level that you can play. And the highest level is a level 19. Where I land on, I can beat level 18s right now.
And what was the highest?
19.
19? Okay. And you're competing at 18.
Yes.
Okay.
So I compete at 18, which is still not good enough. I have to compete at 19 in order to be in the championships.
Okay.
But at the level that I compete, though, is still like a higher tier than a lot of people. So there's 2 types of scorings. One is combo scoring, and then there's accuracy scoring. The most important one is accuracy. So if you get a bunch of marvelous, you get a perfect score. If you get like 1 great and then a bunch of marvelous, that's not perfect. So if you basically, perfect scoring means that you hit the note right on the beat. And
you need that perfect scoring for that level in order to move on to like 19 or whatever?
Basically.
Okay.
You need to have perfect scoring for 18s and 19s in order to compete in KAC. And I don't have perfect scorings, but I can clear level 18 songs.
Are you close to perfect scorings?
Only at like lower than 15 songs, like at level 15 songs.
Okay, this is really cool. Like you said, you and Pena were talking about streams for this. I feel like that's like insanely impressive. There's a like, did you play Just Dance at all?
No, that's not a game I play, but I know people who are really interested in it.
Is it not the same as like? Is it wildly different than DDR?
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, I might even just send you a video so you could see me playing. But the way that DDR is, there's 4 panels on the floor, and you have to hit them as the arrow matches the one on the top. And Just Dance is kind of like, oh, you're moving, you're doing this, da da da. That is completely different.
Oh, but it's not like a perfect system. The Just Dance, it's like a lighter, more fun version.
Yeah, it's just like a party game for friends.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't consider it competitive whatsoever.
I mean, the last thing I can do is dance. So understanding scoring for dancing is a completely new thing. Like that. I didn't even know that. Like, this is really cool that you're like competing in that. So is that the only game right now that you have like that competitive outlet for, or you like you said like with Valorant you wanted to play at least when it launched? All right, like is that going to be one that you double back to, or like
I need a team, and I don't have a team. I don't want to play by myself. I want to actually have like a couple of players who are interested in grinding it out and getting better and actually moving forward with it.
Did you get into like any of the like BRs when they were hot, like Fortnite or PUBG or anything like that?
I did. I was into PUBG for a really long time. I streamed it for a while too, and then I tried Fortnite. I played it. I never really liked the building aspect of it, so it never attracted me to playing it. But but PUBG was kind of like like perfect for me until like obviously the bugs and the hacks and all that.
Yeah, it kind of like unfortunately that game died because I feel like everyone had like such good memories with it. But like that was another like super competitive one. Do you play like, I don't know, like Warzone or anything like that, like for that competitive outlet since you did play PUBG, or is it just in that sort of like CS, that's sort of like a real arena style format?
Well, I haven't tried Warzone yet. A lot of people said that I would probably enjoy it, but
no, yeah, you would dig it if you're into like hardcore. Like if you got that competitive drive, no, you would way dig it.
Oh my gosh! Well, I'll have to play it and try it out. But I know I enjoyed Valorant a lot. I just don't want to play it by myself, like I said.
Yeah.
But if I have a team, even for like Warzone or whatever, I could see myself being competitive again.
Well, I mean, we got a big match tomorrow. We got a big Sea of Champions deal tomorrow.
Oh yeah. That's crazy though, because that's on boats.
Yeah, but that's part of what makes it so cool. I always like to say that I feel like Sea of Thieves could be, if they leaned into it, could have a real niche, like sort of esport ecosystem, just because like the naval combat is so unique. Not like the hand-to-hand stuff, because it's like, it is what it is. I feel like the gunplay and stuff is just not as like it's not like what Counter-Strike is or Valorant or any of those games. But as far as like the ship mechanics work, like we got this tomorrow. For anyone that doesn't know, tomorrow on October 24th, Sea of Champions is doing their first Last Ship Standing event. Last Ship Standing, like arena style Sea of Thieves event. And I got my team that I'm in there with. Nikki's got her team, so we're actually competing against each other tomorrow, which is gonna be super dope.
Oh my gosh!
All right, so
I'm excited for that one team that's gonna be in there.
Oh yeah. So okay, tell me a little bit about your guys' squad for tomorrow.
Okay, so when it first came out, I did reach out to a couple of people, and a lot of people were not available due to the time, but a couple of my friends were, like Slev86, Jaxie Beard, and Alienate the Bunny.
Yeah.
So we've been playing arenas, and we've been doing pretty good every night so far. This is a team that have never met each other until I glued them together.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a little crazy, but I think it's gonna be fun regardless if we win or lose or whatever,
Who's your who do you guys have on the helm?
Alienate the Bunny.
Alienate.
Yeah, he's our helmsman. We have a boarder, which is Slev, and then we have our dedicated cannon, which is Jaxie, and then myself on repairs and cannons.
And basically ship management.
Yeah.
You got to have someone that's responsible on ship management. That's not my role. That is not my that is the last place that I'll remember. Last thing I will remember to do. D is like basically our shipwright. She like knows everything about what's going on the ship. So she's like she basically calls everything out, and we kind of like just take her orders at that point.
That's amazing. But yeah, that's literally what we have come up with. We kind of, like I said, we just put the team together and we figured out our roles while playing. You know, who's better at boarding. I'm a double gunner. Unfortunately, sometimes that doesn't work when I board. If I miss my shots and I get sworded to death. So for, you know, like Slav, he's really, really good at swords and all that. And he puts up a good fight.
Dope. Yeah, tomorrow this will be really cool. I've been kind of like clamoring for a BR for Sea of Thieves for a minute, just because I feel like it's, I don't know, I feel like the sanctity of life of the ship is so unique. That, like when you have all four people that are like trying to like stay like super organized together and try to keep the ship afloat. Like there's no other game that replicates that. So
no,
like
I agree. Mm-hmm.
So in these like competitive environments, it just like the importance of keeping your ship up is just highlighted even more. So
yes.
So it's just like everyone is like super attentive on comms, super responsive. Like it's just, I don't know. It's like that's always been the fun part about esports for me, is that like, you know, even though it's not real, you still get to you still get that whole like teamwork that like, you know, because I'm like you, I played sports growing up, like, and that like the thing I loved about sports was like the teamwork side of it. I didn't, you know, solo sports like golf or whatever, I didn't do that, but like, you know, basketball or hockey or whatever, like that was always really fun to like jive with teammates and like kind of build that rapport. And doing that on a boat, like in this game, is like, you know, it feels the same, which is really cool. I've been hoping, I've been hoping for like this last ship standing format for a bit. Also cool, when I saw that you had a team, I was like, yo, we get to compete against Nikki. This is gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like regardless, whatever way it goes, I'm still gonna have fun with it, you know. All right, evaded that.
So what's next for you with DDR? Like what's on the like competition schedule?
So right now, because everything's been postponed, unfortunately, so all the tournaments were canceled for the rest of the year. So what I have planned is Pena and I are working on getting our arcade pads working, and because we actually purchased arcade pads, and we're trying to get it going. So you'll see it in the back of our room, and because we have a pad that's hanging up back there, and it's a decent pad if you want to start the game, you know, easy levels. But
is that like the mat that you plug in that you're actually using?
This is actually like a metal pad.
Oh,
here.
it's metal, like a super intense one.
Yeah, right. But this is one of the lower grade ones, and so we actually have like an arcade quality, like what you would use to compete, in our garage. And so we plan
like
to
with the bar. Does it have those like bars on it?
Yeah, the whole thing. It's from an actual arcade cabinet.
And you got that? That's dope. Those are so cool. I remember seeing those like again a minute ago, but like I remember seeing those.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so basically, so everything's on pause. Like everything's on like a COVID pause right now.
Yeah. So everything's paused right now. So the next step for me is because this is something I do when it comes to competitions, and it's reading charts, right? Because like the way that they come up on the screen, it's pretty fast, and like the arrows. So what I'll do is I'll sit on my computer and I'll analyze the chart, and I'll play it with my fingers and play it until like I memorize, like not completely memorize, but I understand the pattern of and the flow of the song. So that's how I've been training, at least to read at that level.
So is there an issue with like the whole DMCA stuff and trying to stream DDR?
Absolutely. So if you stream DDR, you have to be very careful what you stream. It can only be songs that are not licensed. So a lot of the people in the community have like been putting together a list of songs that you can play on stream. And it's very limited, of course, but it's better than nothing.
Are they all used in competition?
Not all, because there's different types of like DDR. There's DDR, there's ITG, and then Sepmania is a program that was created for the computers where you can customize your own song. So like, let's say if you like, you know, Bye 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 or something. Yeah. And you can make your own chart to that song, and then you can put it online and people can use it. And so those kind of songs are protected, you know, DMCA. Right. You can't play that. So we try to stay away from those. We try to play songs just that are officials from the games themselves, like from DDR and ITG, because you won't get in trouble for that.
I feel like that's just like they just had this new wave of DMCA stuff this week, and I like because there was the big one in the summer, like that was like around June, I think, maybe even May, like where everyone was just like freaking out because people thought they were gonna get banned. They had to delete all their clips and VODs and stuff, and obviously this week there's been like a new like resurgence for it.
I saw, a lot of people got emails.
Yeah, like, but I mean, I don't know anything about what's going on. I don't know who's actually getting banned. I don't know if I know anybody personally that has gotten an email. I just see stuff on Twitter. So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like there's not a whole bunch of clarity right now, but apparently Twitch just came out with a product called Twitch Soundtrack that I don't know anything about, but it's supposed to be like approved songs. So, you know, you'd hope for a game like DDR or whatever, where like the content is the music, you know, like you'd hope that like, you know, Twitch would do something to help bypass that, especially because people would want to watch the big, you know, like whatever, the big tournament, the big championship or whatever. Like people are going to want to watch that on Twitch, and you don't want to
thousands to watch.
Yeah, and you don't want to, and you don't want to restrict like the songs or whatever, just because of that, right? I mean, because it's like you want to be like as competitive as you can. So that's a weird spot to be in for that game.
It is, yeah. It's that's why a lot of like dance gamers or, you know, music rhythm gamers and all that, they're just kind of like, what do we do? It's our lifeline, and it's being cut right now.
Yeah, that's super unique. Again, guys, everyone, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. We're just jamming, trying to find as much spice as we can, trying to egg anybody out to come and fight us. We're Reaper 2. Hopefully that, you know, hopefully someone sees this and wants to brawl.
There's a sloop to the right.
Is it a player sloop?
I think so.
Let's go to it.
All right.
So this is what you do, right? Server hop, trying to find, you know, as much spice as you can. Like what's been your, like lately, what's been your take on, I don't know, any of the new content or whatever? Like what's your like status on Sea of Thieves?
The game is really amazing. Like it's always gonna have a lot to do in it. The only part that I kind of wish there was more is more fights in games. Like I want people to come after me. I want to be chased. I like the spice personally, and that's what I feel like it needs. And I personally wish there were more boats on a server than just 5 or 6. You know, just to kind of make it more crazy.
Yeah, man, I'd like, it would be so cool to have 10 ships, because I feel like at any given moment you're fighting, or like the server's only filled with like maybe 2 to 4 ships, because obviously the max is 6, but like not every server is always at max. So like if you put 10 as the limit, you're probably going to get, you know, in that 4 to 6 or like 5 to 7 range in any given moment, which is like, would be way dope, would bring a lot of that spice back. And honestly, the reason why we're competing tomorrow, at least like the reason why I'm wanting to get in, because I want that sort of like satisfaction of always getting into ship fights.
Yeah.
And like you'd love to have it in an adventure.
Absolutely. And arenas are great and all, but I feel like there needs to be more than just that. Like, oh, grab a chest and that's it, and or like naval battle. I feel like there should be I don't know, like this last man standing ship, like a battle royale with ships or something. Right.
All right, so what's next? What's next for you and your streaming, or we talked about the documentary that you're working on. Is that immediately gonna like start capturing most of your attention and most of your focus on a daily basis?
No, right now it's kind of a split focus, but right now like I'm putting time away for that documentary, and I'm focusing on just building up my channel, making it more, you know, more fun, more interactive,
more Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, you know, and just like bringing wholesome like content and just, I don't know, making people feel good about hanging out whenever they're at work and all that. So for me, it's important to have that positivity every day in your life, because you know there's a lot of people that go to work or they're just like stressed and they just need a friend to talk to, and they can just log in and talk to me for a little while, you know. That's really where it is.
That's like the most addicting part of streaming, I think, is getting all that real feedback from people, you know, like hearing from people, like because I don't know, I never knew what to expect like when I started, but like getting to know so many people, and obviously your community is so is extremely positive. Everyone's so friendly, so like that's probably got to be even more addicting, knowing that if you go live, not only do you get to like hang out with everybody, but it's like such a like fulfilling time for everybody. which is really cool. Like going to hang out in and anyone that's on my side, if you guys aren't already, please go follow Nikki and just spend some time. You stream every day, like 11 a.m. right, is when you start?
Yeah, 11 a.m. Central every day. The only days I don't stream are Sundays right now.
All right. Kind of segueing into some more faster hitting questions.
Ooh, okay, let's go.
What 4 people, living or dead, would you invite to your dinner party if you had one?
Oh, Robin Williams is one because he was such a sweet and amazing person. To my dinner, oh my gosh. Let me think who else. Obviously, like living my parents, or do you mean like stars?
Give me anybody.
Or...
No. It can be anybody.
Oh,
literally anybody.
Okay. Of course, if it, Peña's obviously one. My mom and if I have to pick a famous person, it'd be Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could just have a pizza party, I'd invite everybody.
Oh, so more than 4. Okay, cool. Like
Yeah,
I like
I'd
that
have
answer.
everybody.
I like that answer. Your answer is 7 billion people.
Everybody. Pizza party,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, who's gonna win in a fight? A grizzly bear or a silverback gorilla?
The gorilla for sure.
The gorilla for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty strong.
Yeah, I always have the grizzly bear.
Really?
I always have because they're so fast.
Well, I mean, they're fast, but like gorillas have like. Have you seen a gorilla run? They go bah, 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 and then just like and they run.
I've seen a grizzly bear like in YouTube videos run, and I think it's like insanely fast. It's so deceptively fast. But that's where I always answer with that question.
Well, if they had to square up and fight each other, I think the gorilla has the upper hand with those those arm strength.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, and last one. If there's anything that people don't know or that isn't like well known about you, and you wish everyone could know, what would that be?
Okay. Well, this one's a little deeper, but I do suffer from anxiety, and it's not social anxiety. It's just like, everybody has a little bit, but it's like for me sometimes it can get really bad.
Like debilitating.
Yeah, where like I just like I don't feel well throughout the day. It doesn't happen often, but it happens with performance mostly. And I have to say that if nobody knows this is the truth, that my anxiety has been tamed a lot with streaming because a lot of friends spend so much time here talking and hanging out that it's like it almost distracts you from ever feeling that tightening on your chest and all those sweaty palms, mom spaghetti kind of thing. But honestly, anxiety's been a thing in my life for as long as I can remember, and everybody helps me with it, and they don't even know it. Just hanging out.
What age did you start realizing that like it was a big deal for you?
I was like 6 years old. I was
At
young.
6?
Yeah, I mean, it got to the point that my parents were taking me to see like different doctors and stuff about it, but I never took anything for it because I'd rather stay natural. But with Peña and streaming and everything that's happened in my life, I've been able to control it and bubble it and be strong and be able to pass that knowledge on to others who suffer from anxiety as well. And I feel like it's helped not only just me, but others in this whole streaming journey.
Have you tried to do like therapy at all, like that to help? I don't know, like just kind of like tame it. You said you're at a point now where you can't control it. Was that like?
Yeah.
Did you start seeing someone and like helping, like just talking it out was helpful, or did you kind of like just figure that out just like with your own like deep thoughts or whatever?
I figured it out with my own deep thoughts. I literally had to have like a sit down conversation with myself in my head and kind of go through all these emotions and feelings and how to stop myself from going off the edge with my anxiety. Because, people who have anxiety, they get panic attacks. And sometimes you can't control that. And there's, it sucks because it kind of just hits you without you even knowing how to stop it. And I figured it out. I have figured out how to tame it. And like I said, I lend my hand out to those who have the same issues that I've gone through, and because I understand where they're coming from. So it's kind of like we're friends helping friends.
So you said people that have anxiety deal with panic attacks. Is that something that like you were going through, regular panic attacks that were super disruptive?
Absolutely. I literally would wake up freaking out in the middle of the night crying, or I could just be driving and all of a sudden like it just hits me out of nowhere. I used to be able to, even just thinking about it back in the day, it would just flare and just start happening.
What was the cause of it?
Sometimes it's nothing. It just rises and it hits you. That's the problem with anxiety and panic attacks.
So
it's like a panic disorder.
Yeah, is it kind of like a chemical thing that's happening in your brain?
Could be. Yeah, could be an imbalance, or it could be something in your life that's happened, that scarred you, or traumatized you. It could be a lot of different things. But there is a way to control it naturally, and that's where I've gotten to in my life now. And I try to spread that awareness of anxiety, and I try to help those with it as well.
So you're controlling it naturally in the sense that you like you were talking about, you feel it coming and you control it and you hone it. And like, is that just constant, like just reaffirmation to yourself, just forming your own positive thoughts and trying to just convince yourself that it's all fake?
Absolutely, 100%. That's because the majority of the problem is that it's all in your head, and you have to remember and believe in yourself that things are going to be okay, that you're fine. People around, you're not alone. You have friends around you. You can reach out to somebody. And it's all like just reminding yourself that you're okay. Things are okay.
So is like, that's got to be a cool part about streaming, in the sense that you get to help other people now. You were talking about that before, but I don't think I had the appreciation for, waking up in the middle of the night with a panic. That's a tremendous amount of anxiety, right? That's a great deal that, I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there that are struggling with. So do you get people out that are popping in and saying, hey, this is something I deal with? And then do you take that as an opportunity to try to help them the best you can?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've had a lot of people open up to me and tell me that, I suffer from anxiety as well, or my so-and-so, my family member. And, I try to talk about it. I always try to like remind them that everything is fine. I'm there for the person, and sometimes people come in and they're like, wow, I feel better now that I was in your stream. And that's the goal. The goal is to make everybody feel positive inside, and to have a good day at work, or a good weekend, or whatever, is happening in their life, is to change that into a positive light. Whatever they're feeling, get rid of the negativity, bring the goodness in.
That's super dope, especially because you get to use, the thing about being live is that you can't ever fake it, right? So if someone's going to come and hang out with you and they get the sense that something is off, not saying that people won't be there to help you or, talk to you to go through it, but you as the person that's on the camera, you never want to be the person that's like, like you want to always be the best version of yourself. So you're probably working on a lot of, and I think I feel this too, but I hear this from others, that it's like you always have the camera on, so you've got to always be thinking and doing your best. So is that pressure something that builds up ever, or does it help you kind of double down and combat it?
No, I think that a lot of everything that happens on like stream, it's really natural to me. Like I feel very drawn to people. I make friends pretty easy, honestly. And so everything is pretty natural. I will say that there are days that like I'm a little stressed about something, and you can kind of see it bleed through, but I try to smile past it, because I know it's just that moment in time. So, well,
Nikki, thank you so much for hanging. Thank you for sharing that. Obviously, like you said, it was that was a deeper answer, but that's getting to know more about you and your world is obviously the point of coming to hang out. Thank you so much for chilling. Obviously, I'm super stoked for tomorrow. I'm hoping I get to board your guys' ship a few times.
Oh my gosh, let's go.
I'm hoping I get to board your guys' ships just a few times. Guys, everyone, thank you so much for chilling. Thank you guys for hanging out. This has been Party Boats and Thieves, episode 9. All right, Nikki, here's what we need to do. We need to get a picture next to up here on the front of the boat. I'm gonna get a little screen grab, especially because it's golden hour right now. We got the sun.
Oh, I see. Okay, here we go.
I get a picture every single time we do this.
Here, I got a T-pose as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm close enough so I can get it.
There we go.
Is this always how what your pirate looks like?
Yes, it's become a staple to have a mustache on. Like normally, like sometimes I'll even get on stream and just kind of put one of these on.
Yeah. You got to turn your mustache green.
Oh my god.
I've been rocking the green stash for a minute.
Oh my goodness, let's go.
And as I say to all the friends, old or new, Nikki, if you're ever at a point where you're like, yo, I want to hang out in the morning party boats with everybody, you don't ever even have to feel like you need an invite. You can just always just join up and boom, you can roll with us. We're always doing PvP. Come and hang out, whatever, drink coffee. It's just what we do. And it sounds like, server hopping's what you do. So everything's all Gucci if you're trying to party boat, drink coffee, and slay out.
Absolutely. I'll definitely hop in the mornings and try to get in with you guys sometimes.
All right, let's get this loot turned in. Again, everybody, thank you guys for hanging out. Like I said, Party Boats and Thieves is a podcast experience brought to you and fueled by Madrinas Coffee. Guys, if you guys want to use discount code Miss Azuki and support Nikki, you now can at madrinascoffee.com. Get you 20% off your entire order. Guys, we have a bunch of different things, cans, powders, a bunch of different coffees to choose from. Now's the best time if you are wanting to support Nikki. That code's going to be active. 20% off is a great deal, and like I said, it gets to commemorate our time here. All right, let's let me ask you real quick, because this is another like super controversial one that we go through. That we go through. Okay. Have you seen the movie Jumanji?
Yes.
Would you say
absolutely.
It's a movie about time travel?
Wow. Whoa, I never thought about it that way.
No one ever does. No one ever does.
Oh my gosh.
It's a time travel movie.
Okay, I've watched that movie like 30 times as a kid because it was my favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
Never in my... Oh, I'm mind blown. I don't even know.
I watched it for the first time a few months ago, and I said it was a good time travel movie, and it people lost their mind. So I bring it up because I want to talk about it, but I also like rage baiting. I like rage baiting with it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, I think that's very controversial, and I'm going to think about it for like a while and give you a proper answer. I'm going to rewatch the movie just to make sure.
If you could choose one song to play every single time you walked into a room, or if you could choose one song that was like DMCA free and you could play it like without copyright or like any restrictions, and you could play it on stream, what would it be?
Oh wow, I have 3 that are like right next to each other. Okay, probably "Glamorous" by Fergie.
And
then
what are the other 2?
The other one is Let Him Say by Lizzo. And then the third one is "Idea of Happiness" by Vanshi.
By who?
Vanshi.
VANSHI?
E.
VANSHE. Okay. Idea of Happiness?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I knew the other 2. I don't know that one.
That one's it's pretty good. It talks about like your idea of happiness, and
right.
I don't know. It's got a nice tune to it.
Dope. Is that all the loot?
I think so. I believe so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nikki, thank you so much for hanging.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll T-pose one more time.
Yeah, here we go. Hold on. There we go.
Yep, golden hour. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you guys for chilling. You guys will be able to listen to this on YouTube. It'll be uploaded later today. Nikki, can you give a shout out for everybody to so that way they know where to find you and when they can find you and where they can find you and all the great links.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys can find me on twitch.tv/Miss Azuki. And I also have a Twitter, which is Nikki Wolf, NIKKIWULF. And yeah, then my YouTube somewhere in there.
So have you been putting a lot of time into YouTube?
I just started uploading videos recently.
Really?
Yeah, very recently.
I saw you already have like what did I see? You had like 1K subscribers already?
Yeah, but I used to like put up cosplay videos back in the day because that's something
gotcha.
I cosplay as well. I forgot to mention that.
You cosplay too?
Yeah.
What's your favorite one you've ever done?
Katana from Mortal Kombat.
Oh hell yeah! Do you have another one that you're gonna do soon?
Next week actually, I'm gonna be Sailor Mars.
For Halloween?
Yes, I'm gonna do Sailor Mars, and Korra from Legend of Korra, and then Lady Une from Gundam Wing. Those are my 3 lineups.
Hell yeah! You're gonna do Sailor Mars next week?
Yeah.
And you're gonna post that like you're gonna do that like is that gonna be a stream thing or is you gonna post it on like Instagram and that kind of stuff?
Oh, stream thing. I'm gonna be dressed up.
Yeah.
All the way through. Yeah.
All right, guys, go check out Nikki's cosplay next week. Go check out Nikki's cosplay next. It's Halloween too, so everybody's gonna be cosplaying. Hopefully, I'm gonna be a pirate. That's really creative.
Ooh, which day? On Saturday?
I guess on Halloween.
Oh, I'll join you because I have a whole pirate outfit now.
Yeah, I don't get enough of being a pirate on a daily basis, so I figure I'll do it again on Halloween. Awesome, Nikki. Thank you for hanging. Everybody, thank you for hanging out. Like I said, this will be uploaded to YouTube later on today. If you guys are listening after the fact, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys were live, thank you guys for hanging out for all of this. I'm gonna do Nikki's heart, where she brings both hands together. Here we go. I'm jealous of how good you are at that. Yeah. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. One love, everyone. Bye.
Bye.